Andrew, this is Adrian Gomez. Just looking at your motion and trying to get this figured out. So I'm going to go through the back leg squat. Back leg squat is at about 114. What I'd like to see this happen is that we can lower your butt and get this knees inside, which is pretty good. You got the knee inside, but I'd like to get below 110. I mean, 110 would be good, but ideally it'd be about 100 degrees. And the reason how we can do this is our upper body is going to get more stacked because you're trying to get back up top and not on the side of your body. We're going to have to get you to stack better. Get your knee inside, which you're doing, and squatting lower. And this is going to, allow your back leg and your upper body to just stack, what we call stacking. And this is going to allow you to keep your energy together, because right now your energy is separated. Now there's no torque in your upper body. At plant foot, your chest is already flying forward, and we want that to be delayed if we're going to be up, on top. So that's number one. As we get into this, I'm going to get you out as you step. This is a pretty good angle, about 94 degrees, which is not bad. I'd like to see like 110 degrees, and I'd like to see it, a good 16 degree difference. What we're going to do is we're going to have to get you to push a little bit further, and the reason why you're not able to get that angle is because your back leg comes off the ground even before you throw the ball. So the back leg needs to stay almost straight so that the chest can extend as well. And if it comes off, then there's no power driving into that hip. You can see how the hip kind of comes up and loads, and you're throwing mostly arm out of there when we should be throwing from our legs. I mean, you got strong lower half to be able to do that. So 94. So that's a double angle with your lower half. We're going to get into your front knee, which I don't think is an issue. We get into here, 141 degrees, and as you throw, it retracts, which is perfect. Front knee is great. We just got to make sure that this back leg stays almost straight and grounded on the ground. And what's going to happen is your hips are going to rotate quickly, and the leg will pop up, which is what should happen. So lower half-wise. So next one is posture. So at ball release, your posture is an A posture, kind of a B. So we have three postures: straight up and down, A, B, and C. I'd classify you as an A posture. So as you come through, your head doesn't really move very much, which is what we want. It moves a little bit. So what I'd like to see happen out of this is that your chest stay back a little bit further. So if we could get your chest and your head to stay right there, we'd have minimal head movement. Maybe a little bit further back. Right there. So that's right in the middle of your eyes. So I'd like to see you maybe 3 or 4 inches back further. See how your weight is going forward? I want all of your weight going back and on that line. That's going to minimize your head movement, and it's also going to maximize your ability to load on your back half, because your head starts coming off of that back foot really, really fast. And we want to save that. So see that position right there? That's a good position. But I'd like to see that your chest is back this way at an angle going up instead of your front shoulder going down. So that's the lower half and the posture. Let's get into the upper half, and this is where a lot of the issues stem from. You got a good pinch Both of your shoulder blades are pinched. We talked about stacking. So initially when you set up, it looks pretty good. And when you're stacking, I want this knee inside, upper body back, and I want to keep that posture as long as possible so that you can continue to drive off that back leg. You're leaving 3 or 4 miles an hour on the table if you're not continuing to push with your back leg. We haven't even driven with our chest yet, and the leg's off. So that's something you can definitely improve upon stacking wise. Looking at front glove, firm front glove looks pretty good. You do pinch pretty well into there. I'd like to see, this is being nitpicky, but I'd like to see this glove turn almost out. See how it's out right there? The glove looks out and then it turns down. I'd like to see you keep it there and then take that elbow and just move it and pinch it. I think that's gonna give you a little bit firmer front side, but all in all, front side looks pretty good. So let's look at your chest. So this is where I think your arm doesn't feel that great, doesn't feel that hot. We're at 161, so let's look. 161, let's measure it off of this too. So you're measuring both your elbows, or both your shoulders, and then off to the elbow, 170 degrees. So earlier, your elbow's low. You can see your elbow low, and then at the last second it pops up. And that's a lot of wear and tear on the shoulder. What I'd like to see that you pinch, and that this chest, that you're rotating your chest and not your arm. Your elbow shouldn't be moving very much. And the reason why your elbow's moving up is because this leg is popping up. It's compensating for the lack of stability in the back leg. So if your back leg stayed straight, what would happen to your chest? Well, your chest would rotate quickly, and your upper body or your elbow wouldn't move very much. So you have 161, and then it has to come up to 177. It's still a little bit low. It's what we call a low elbow, and that's that side arm. That's that. If we're trying to come up, I'd like to get to 180. We're not talking a lot of differences, but we're talking about maybe an inch, and I just don't want to see that variance in the elbow. How it's going low and then up, low, up. You can see the difference in the movement of the elbow. So that's definitely something that we can work on. All of the arm care is going to take care of that. All of the drills will take care of that. You just have to put it into practice and go through the program and trust in it. It really does work. We fixed a lot of variable elbows, and that's going to help you rotate better and drive your chest harder. It's going to come out a lot better. So that's the high elbow. You have a low elbow, and at the last second it has to come up. So that's definitely something that we've got to work on. All right, we're going to look at chest extension now. Chest extension right here. I think probably a little bit further frame. But right here, you're about, let's see here, about 40 degrees, 41. Okay, so this is not bad. We want to be in the 40s. I'd like to see upper 40s, and this is where you're going to get that more of an overhand throw. The chest extension is really where it's going to vary. So what I'd like to see happen is this. I'd like to see you come in at the hip and get out to 50 degrees. We're talking 3 or 4 inches chest drive. The only way that that's going to be possible is that if this leg goes off of it. And you can see the line where the leg needs to be. The leg needs to be down here, which is completely doable. If you straighten that back leg, you're going to get this straight line through. Hopefully that makes sense. You need that counterbalance with the leg to be able to drive that chest. And then once the release point happens, the hip is going to rotate and the leg is going to come up. I like the hip to rotate early and be able to have a lot of hip rotation through that release point. So chest extension definitely can improve. 10 degrees, we're talking 4 or 5 inches, but that's going to make a huge difference, especially driving through the ball. When you look at, this is what we call a, let's see. So the external rotation, we've got to get a little bit better. We could definitely get better off of this. So this is 90, and you're about 23 degrees off. So I'd like to see, and that's that variable elbow. It's hard to externally rotate when your elbow is varying, coming up and down, low elbow to a high elbow. So we need better external rotation. The arm care, the bands, and the heavy balls will help you do that. That will allow you to take care of everything. Again, this is external rotation, but watch where the arm goes outside. Boom. And the reason why it goes outside is it really pops open about 34 degrees. What I'd like to see happen is that we reduce this, and if we could get your arm to be somewhere in there at release point, we're going to have to increase your chest extension, and we're also going to have to increase the chest extension is really going to drive the arm forward and get across your body. So I'd like to see more rotation in your upper body. I'd like to see more rotation with your elbow pinched and rotating through it, and that's going to fix the arm. We got to develop a quicker arm speed, which the drills should do it. Long toss will help as well. But honestly, if you go through the program and do 4 or 5 drills and work on the specific weaknesses online with your access, I mean, it's going to be very, very simple. Just consistent work, and if you put in three to 5 days a week of working on throwing drills and doing bands and doing balls, everything's going to start working out. So I think you have what you need to throw 90 again. We just gotta connect the dots, and everything diagnosed through this, you'll be able to see. So let's recap. Back leg squat, stacking, posture is an A posture, front glove. We got to get elbow. Elbow is variable, so we've got to be able to pinch and stay in there. Back legs coming up, so it's you don't have that ground force contact. Here's another one. I forgot about this. Oh, that's not bad. You're good. So, we've got to get outside of that elbow, so that's the arm fly out we've got to work on. Low elbow, and I think that's about it. But give me a call. Let me know if this is helpful. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Please let me know. Thanks so much.